And what's great too is that you might think, oh, how'd they raise the money outside of selling their restaurant? John had a very interesting quote about how they capitalized their developments.
Please tell me about it.
He basically said, we borrowed 100% of the purchase price.
As you like to say, we used to be a
We
country.
did used to be a country. Guys like this, you put it all on the line time and time again. And that's what real estate's all about, he said to himself as he was insanely leveraged.
I love this other anecdote from the Business Journal article where Berg admitted that his wife, Marianne, frequently calls him at 6 p.m. to remind him it's time to go home because he loves his work so much.
What I also love too is that John was quoted as saying that without Carl, I never would have done a deal. And without me, Carl would have gone broke.
When you get these kind of guys together and you have the capital and you have the balls and you have the comfort with that kind of insane leverage, you can really build an empire. And Sobrato did just that. I think they had all told about 12 million square feet. You're building this real estate with a very, very specific industry in mind. And when that happens, you can end up in some systemic shock situations. And that's what happened to these guys. After the Y2K bubble, they had all this real estate and they didn't really have an industry to lease it from. So that was a really challenging period.
They're talking about buildings being vacant for 5 years, which is a pretty scary thing. Carl Berg is talking about all his venture capital bets during that period too. I mean, in a crisis, everything correlates to zero. The thing is, with a master plan community, the thing you have to get is that the underlying value of the land has to compound at a crazy rate. It'd actually be really interesting for someone to go do is like, what's been the value of the land in the US that has compounded the highest? Because I would put Silicon Valley up there. These guys, the
Mhm.
stuff they were buying, that 200,000 square feet they sold to Amdahl, they probably built it for like $9 a foot. I
Yeah.
mean, what's it worth today?
One of Nvidia's recent purchases, they paid 83 million for a 125,000 square foot building. So that's $660 a foot.
That's a lot more than nine.